ladies and gentlemen, this is Nash Sports Lawyer here. Welcome back to a brand new video. And finally, for the long-awaited video that everyone expected to come out, I said all over my Insta story. I said, would you rather let me do my NRL 2022 predictions or the preseason? Not the preseason, the previews first. And everyone said, I'll do the 2022 NRL predictions, and I'm going to do them right now. Live on this premiere. So please enjoy. Disclaimer, these are my opinions. Do not get personal with them. If you do, then I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for you. So yeah, please sit back, relax, get a popcorn or lunch wherever you are. Even this morning, I don't know where. Please enjoy this prediction video for 2022 and everyone touched the Premiership season. So coming in 16th is a team that's going to be most overpressured this year. Is a club that has the border going into the odd direction. The coach be overpressured, in my opinion, over the other coaches that everyone seems to predict that they might be sacked with the bold predictions. A team that struggles to get the leader for their mentality issues. And that team, of course, is the West Tigers. So the reason why I put the West Tigers 16 plays is that, sure they've got Jackson Hastings in there. I know Tyrone Peachy, a lot of people say he could be a good utility player or a good lock for them. But in my opinion, I don't know how Jackson Hastings is going to lead out the team, because I have heard in the past that, the previous NRL team he played for was Sydney Roosters. And I heard that his performance for the Sydney Roosters wasn't that great. And ever since he went to Super League, he's been absolute like a top notch, top quality player, or even near like a Super League legend, over there in England for Wigan. And ever since he's like left Wigan and came to West Tigers now, I do see him one of those players, one of those NRL players who end up going to Super League, come back being shit. But I don't really see Jackson Hastings becoming really bad like that. I think he's going to go average. I think he will be the captain, but I don't know how he's going to lead his team, because I have heard Adam Dewey is not going to play in 5'8". I heard rumours they might play centre, and if he does play centre, then the West Tigers are going to be finished for the season. They're finished before the clock has even started. Like, good luck going up against the Melbourne Storm, because yeah, it's going to be a very, very depressing season for the West Tigers. Look, the forward pack isn't that bad. I know Alex Howell and Stefano Yokamatu, where his last name is, I can't pronounce it. Obviously, he was a Parramatta junior. I know that. It's not, and I regret the club for letting him go. But the two props, Axel and Stefano, they're pretty underrated. Luciano Lua has been a bit off his form in 2021, and I have a big concern if he might get a pick up from the North Queensland Cowboys, in my opinion. And the hooker position, Jacob Little isn't the best. I think they could replace him with Simpkins, as a utility there. Some people may say that Tawal will play in lock. In my opinion, I think Finn Peach will play in lock. I think you put Simpkins in as a utility to replace Little. I think that's the best option for them, since Little hasn't really been a top-notch hooker to really game attacking through the middle that often. Plus, they make a lot of errors through there as well. James Tamal can't even lead the forward pack as well, as his previous experiences with the Parramatta Panthers in the grand final, and also with the North Queensland Cowboys when the grand final in 2015. And the depth for the forward pack is just looking very, very bad. And Michael Maguire's just overpressured, and it's like they signed freaking Stafford to, which they didn't even need to. They need to get some depth for the forward pack, not depth for their back line. I mean, they got enough like depth for the back line anyways. Like Oliver Dilda, I think coming from Wigan Warriors. I haven't seen much from him over there, but I think he won't do too bad over the West Tigers. I know the West Tigers got Dane Laurie, and he might be able to prove it wrong. But the rumors saying that Michael Maguire is going to choose Adam Dewey in the centres is having a big worry for me over there. Who's going if Adam Dewey is going to play in 5'8", who the hell is going to be the 5'8" over there? Could it be Tyrone Peachy? Could it be bloody I have no idea. I have no idea who's going to be a 5'8", who if Adam Dewey starts centre, because that is just an absolute. That's going to be way worse than what they were in 2021. Having a big situation, had a whole documentary just to make fans feel sorry for themselves. But guess what? Nobody does. Nobody fucking cares about you. You fucking frauds, man. All right. You have been in this position for many years, right? I know this is a prediction video, but I want to make a little rant about this. It's just an absolute disgrace of how, the West Tigers, they just think that they're a good team. But look at stats in the past. Sure, they won the Premiership, and Parramatta hasn't. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're saying that West Tigers in the overall era are way worse a team than Parramatta, which isn't true since Parramatta's won more wooden spoons. Well, look at stats in the past, from what I heard. The West Tigers stats is actually much worse than the Parramatta Eels in the past. Even though they won the Premiership 2005 against the North Queensland Cowboys, they were actually lucky that the Eels didn't even defeat the North Queensland Cowboys. If the Parramatta would be in North Queensland Cowboys 2005, who knows what happened with Parramatta and West Tigers. But I really think that the West Tigers really need to make like a dynasty soon, because their future at the moment, I believe they'll compete for top 8 in 2023. But for now, this is not going to be a great start, and I have no idea how the fans are going to react to Adam Dewey going to centre, and it's just going to be a long, depressive season for the West Tigers, in my opinion. Ken Mamalu's going to be average. I mean, sure they got David Nofaluma in the back line, but the mentality is just the biggest issue ever, and Maguire just keeps on yelling them, but nothing just changed. And for me, I think with that, they're going to make slow improvements in the halves as long as they don't put Adam Dewey in the centres. I think they'll improve a bit, but it won't be enough for them to get out of the 16th place, comparing their team to others. So, yeah, for me, the West Tigers, for me, they're going to get the wooden spoon for the first ever time, even though they get memed about getting ninth nearly every single season. All right, coming 15th is going to be the Newcastle Knights. So the Newcastle Knights, for me, for over the last couple of years, I think I may have said this in my last year's NRL predictions, that they're not really that convincing team for me. People keep putting them pretty high in the low predictions. And in my opinion, I think it's just a bit ridiculous how they put it high. Sure, they may prove me wrong last season. That's because of Mitchell Pearce and also Ponga still going there. Obviously, Blake Green was injured, but still, that didn't really matter. To be honest, Blake Green didn't even do anything at all. It was like a freaking ghost there. It was unnoticeable from the Knights' success to the final series to the top 8 last season. But basically, Mitchell Pearce, Karen Ponga, and also Talara, or you could say the Saifee equaliser, or even Tyson Frizzell was pretty decent for them. But the reason why I put him 15th is that they got some big outs. They got Mitchell Pearce going to the Catalan Dragons, and they got Jane Brayley out for 6 to 8 weeks, which is a massive loss. Since that's a skipper right there. So the captaincy for me will be Kaya Ponga, for and all, but the Knights team isn't bad, but the thing is that I think this season they're actually going to get bottom 4, and the team that they just cannot convince me. It just can be really inconsistent at times. Sure, the one of them games, but most of them were from Mitchell Pearce, and Jake Clifford without Mitchell Pearce, he's gonna have a horrible season, in my opinion. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if you say stats and this and that. Jake Clifford without Mitchell Pearce is gonna have a shot. I don't know how the hell he's gonna stand up from that and just prove that. It's gonna be a massive pressure on him, especially Adam Clune being the new halfback. By sounds of it, who knows? Maybe Phoenix Crossland, who I think will start as a utility. I know Kurt. Everyone's going to say, "Well, why not Kurt Mann?" I just don't really, I don't really see like Kurt Mann as, as much of a great impacted player as we'll ever see him. I don't know. It's just that my main concern for the back spine is the halve, and I really think that they should give Phoenix Crossland like a fair go at halfback, and if he doesn't, then maybe put Kurt Mann as a utility, and then just put Klub as a halfback. But another word for me for the back line is what opponent gets injured just like last season. Who's going to be the fullback? Like Tex Hoy. I just really have no confidence in Tex Hoy since he's a young star, and obviously the fourth back is the main strength. Can Edric Lee can have more game time for Newcastle Knights? Over there, he could possibly play, another position there. Will we be able to get much more game time in there? I don't really know. They could put Chris Randall. I think they're going to put Chris Randall as a hooker anyways. I think he won't go too bad, but for me, I think the Knights. If they get Karaponga out, they could have David Clemmer as a captain, possibly over there, or and also make sure you get him up there. But for me, at the moment, without say having the biggest worry about Karaponga getting injured, I'm just worried about who's going to lead the team and how they're going to get out of the struggles, especially with the inconsistency. They have lost against teams like the West Tigers last year, and this competition this year is going to be pretty tough. So for a team like this, by having one of the key players out, especially Connor Watson, I forgot to mention as well. It's not looking the best for the back spine. 4-pack's still alright, but with the skipper Jane Brayley out, I don't know how they're going to deal without him. So yeah, I'm going to put the Newcastle Knights in 15, competing for the bottom 4. Okay, so coming 14th is going to be the Gold Coast Titans. So the reason why I picked the Gold Coast Titans in 14th, I know a lot of people may say you're an idiot. Well, if I am really an idiot, I'm looking at the 4-pack depth, and the depth for the 4-pack is not really that great. They got Jamal Fogarty out on the back spine as well, which it's a big question for there. Could they play Tanner Boy a halfback if Toby Sexton doesn't work out, or could they play like Tanner Boy, a hooker position as well? We'll have to wait and see for that. But the biggest concern for me is I'm like if they're gonna have the Origin players out while they play against the Cowboys in the round of Origin, from what I see from the draw. I'm thinking about the team, how they're going to go with that, and it's going to look absolutely just empty. It's going to be barely any leadership in that team, and from last year, obviously there's been affected players who performed a little bit off in the regular season once they came back from Origin. And those players are Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary. Who else? I think Liam Martin, I believe. I might be wrong. And also Brian Tyler as well. So I'm pretty worried that if Faisumi Laui, like if he gets a bit like an injury from Origin, and he comes back with that with David Feeder in there, I'm worried if the form gets off, and that they may have a good start, they may have a bad start, but once they come back, if they have a bad start and they still get pick of origin, they get back with some type of injury, still playing well, but then if it affects their performance, that's gonna be pretty bad, especially with the halves, as I said before. Will Smith in there, I don't think he's gonna carry the team well at halfback, in my opinion. I really am having some big concerns, having for the back spine, and it's just that the depth of the team is just not the best, in my opinion, and it just don't have any like stars in that, and I know Josh Holbrook is not a right coach. In my opinion, it's not really anything special or anything. Sure, he's got him in the top 8 last year, but Patrick Herbert had a chance to pass to David Fila, stuffs it up, and that's a chance. And I think since that chance has been gone begging, times for me that this is gonna go wrong this season. They're gonna have a very downhill season from what they were from last year. They're not gonna be anything threatening. And nothing surprising. I know Tino Fafasimo is captain, but as I said before, if he plays Origin, comes back effective, injury, anything, Titans are absolutely stuffed for bottom 4. So, yeah, Gold Coast Titans for me, 14th. So coming 13th for me is a very, very tough team that had to predict. It was one of the most unpredictable teams to ever predict in this ladder prediction video for 2022. So I have the Canberra Raiders. Obviously they had the off-field issues from last year. Obviously with George Williams, wanted to go back to England. Wanted to see his parents again, and obviously with Curtis Scott, have a bit of a statement there, blame it on Rick Stewart, but then after ended up in jail. I believe he ended up being charged, so it was basically his fault. So yeah, a bit of like disturbance there from the club from last year. Obviously, moving on from this year, they're gonna have a very important year coming along with a new halfback, Jamal Fogarty, for the Gold Coast Titans, as I mentioned before in this video. Look, I feel like that Jack Wyne is gonna stand up for this season, as what other people are saying. But my biggest concern is the centre, Jared Croker. Will he start at centre? Or will he get dropped? Will he be replaced by Tomoko? That's the biggest concern for me. I really do not trust Ricky Stewart, in my opinion. I think he's the most overrated coach in 2021. But there is another option for the fullback position. The rookie who played against the Gold Coast Titans, Xavier Savage, was an absolute machine. I really think that he's going to have a breakout year in 2022. I feel like that. I think the best option for him to place him there will place him at fullback. I think you put Charlie Nickel-Cloxton in the sentence, since he's not as fast as how he was in 2019. And I feel like if they do that, then I think the back spine is going to be absolutely just going to be top notch quality. If Ricky Stewart actually does this, which I don't know if Rick Stewart's going to even give Xavier Savage like any game time, which is the biggest biggest concern for me. If they're able to make the back spine much more threatening of what other people see it. So a forward pack, it's looking last season a lot of people were disappointed in Josh Papali's performance. Obviously he was a bit quiet in the regular season for them. Barely made any meters. Wasn't threatening at all, but obviously the only threatening performance he had was with Queensland in Game 2 at Suncorp. Obviously Corey Harinara was possibly one of the best forwards I've ever seen this from 2021 as well. I think he's going to have another great season for them. Hudson Young was pretty decent. Josh Tarpany was possibly one of the most underrated players I've ever seen. For the Raiders, for the forward pack. But the biggest disappointments and the Warriors I have for them is a hooker position. Josh Hodgson. Josh Josh has some great games, last season, but he's getting old now. This is the last ever season for the Canberra Raiders before it goes to the Premiership in 2023, and I just think that I don't think he's not going to like be like desperate for a Canberra win this season. Once he plays the last season for the Canberra Raiders, I just feel like that he's not going to be that good dummy half player of how he used to be a couple of years ago there. I feel like that his career is possibly going to like finish, and he's probably going to retire Parramatta sometime soon, and I'll probably get to that in a future video if I can. And yeah, but for the rest of the 4-pack, it's looking it's pretty good. Like I just feel like that. I just feel like if Rick Stewart can use it much more well the way he did from last season as well, possibly put Elliot Whitehead, as captain, I believe, or no, actually, or put like maybe Jamal Fogg as captain, possibly. But I just cannot trust Joe Croker anymore. His defense is absolutely shocking, and I think this is gonna be his last ever season. Joe Croker as well. I think he's gonna retire as well. But it's just they have potential to be a top 8 team on paper, but I just cannot trust Ricky Stewart on how the way he chooses his team, especially on how he like uses taxes and this and that, especially off-field issues and that. I just think that I cannot trust Ricky Stewart at the moment until he proves me wrong. I'm going to put the Canberra Raiders at 13th. So the next team that I predicted in number 12 is a very hard team to predict between the Canberra Raiders and also this team as well. So this is Warriors Air Fanatics team, aka the New Zealand Warriors or the Auckland Warriors, whatever you want to call them. Obviously this team was they have a former Warrior coming back. They used to play for them, one of the best ever Kiwi players I've ever seen, in my opinion. And that name is Sean Johnson. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Johnson has officially returned to his home club, the New Zealand Warriors, and not also his dream club, actually. If you ever seen in Bloke in the Bar, his ever dream was to not play rugby union, which most Kiwis will ever dream to play for the All Blacks. His dream was actually to play for the New Zealand Warriors, which not many like Kiwis will ever dream to even play for a rugby league club like the Warriors. But for a big superstar like him, that's how he became the man, like how we know today. A very, very iconic, play for the Warriors. But Sean Johnson come back to the New Zealand Warriors is a big buy for them, a big win. I feel like they're going to go with the halves combination with Charles Tavia going at 5'8" with Sean Johnson at halfback. Obviously they got the captain as Toru Harris, but will be injured for a couple of rounds, which that'll be a bit challenging for the Warriors coming into this season in the first few rounds. But I think that they'll pick up form with the halves combination there. They got DWZ, who was the highest try scorer for them. Ever since he's got a loan from the Bulldogs, I think 2020 or last year, I believe. But other than that, Yoy Nakin, I heard rumors, and I also heard from other rugby YouTubers that he might be moving to second row. In my opinion, I think he starts at centre. Sure, he's like aggressive in that, but I think that everyone's underestimating his speed, his strength as well, and I feel like that he's going to have this support play just to make those tackle breaks and those line breaks as well, to score his tries and to get his means as well. And the main concern for me is that they're going to give Ash Taylor much more game time for them, and in my opinion, At first, I thought Taylor was going to be the next Chad Challen said. Yes, you said that right. But then I look back at my thoughts when I said that, and funny enough, I thought to myself, what the fuck was I saying there? Why do I say Ash Taylor was going to be the next Chad Challen? Am I dumb? Like I had a feeling that he might be, but then I thought, you know what? Why don't I just chuck Koenig Rima in as a utility in there? And yeah, I just feel like if they're going to like chuck Koenig Rima as a utility in there for the team, I feel that's going to be absolutely fantastic for them. But you know, I really hope that the New Zealand Warriors don't go back to New Zealand, because if they do, they're going to sacrifice the loss of Rich Walsh, as reports been due recently that he wants to stay in Queensland, doesn't want to go back to New Zealand, as he'll feel homesick, and if that happens, he might go to a new club, maybe to the Dolphins for next season, or possibly back to his old club, the Brisbane Broncos, which they'll be a fantastic buy if that'll be a fantastic grab for the Brisbane Broncos if that happens. But look at the 4-pack at the moment. You know, Wai Egan's not the best hooker, but you know, the biggest worry for me is obviously Toru Harris, as I mentioned before, being out for a couple of rounds. But Josh Curran's going to be a very good second rower for me, as long as Matt Lodge doesn't become undisciplined, as what we've seen against the Gold Coast Titans in round 25. Just Tavanga, you know, he's not the best ever lock for the Warriors, from what I heard, from what I've seen as well. Hopefully he'll improve in this season, but you know, for the last couple of seasons for the Warriors, he hasn't been that great. But the biggest place to watch out for the 4-pack is going to be Elise Katoa and Ben Masila. These two are going to be absolute the biggest impacts off from the bench, in my opinion, and hopefully they'll lead the 4-pack pretty well, possibly for a top 8 contender, as long as Wai Egan does well for them as well, and that they can keep that consistency until Harris comes back from injury. So yeah. For me at the moment, you know, going up at Queensland and going for another season out of New Zealand, from what I've seen, is that is Sean Johnson going to be able to show us that he still has that form, and he's going to get back to the form in New Zealand? Will take him time. We don't know, but at the moment, you know, not a bad team, but yeah, still. I'm not going to 100% confirm that Sean Johnson is going to be, you know, one of the top 5 best halfbacks for the Warriors, or even in the NRL season this year, of how he used to be back in the glory days. So yeah, for me, at the moment, since Nathan Brown was so inconsistent for the Warriors the last season, when I predicted him come 8, I got the Warriors at the moment in 12th place for the season. All right, so coming in 11th place is my rival team, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Obviously, they recruited one of the best ever in the off season so far, and they have a lot of good signings. They have Matt Duffy in there. They have Joshua Okada. They have Matt Burton. They have Brett Nathan. They have the BBQ guy. They have Tavia Pangai Jr. And you know the depth's pretty good as well. So surprisingly, a lot of people are saying that Cole Flanagan will start over Jake Averillo, which I think that is the most ridiculous call I ever heard from any person. And if you think that the Cole Flanagan is going to start over Jake Averillo, then you should never watch footy again. Just sorry about that, but it's just absolutely just a ridiculous call. But you know. The Bulldogs have a pretty good spine. I know some people may have some criticism about Jake Averillo, but you know, ever since the Dogs were coming, like in 16th, Jake Averillo was pretty good in some big point games that they won them for them against the Dragons. It wasn't bad against the Roosters when they lost against them. And many other games that they was pretty good at. The biggest concern for me is that will Brayden Naden start over Aaron Screw-Up, if you pronounce his last name correctly, Screw-Up. Because I feel like Brayden Naden was pretty good at the Premier Panthers some couple of games, but most time he was playing the wing. And I'm not sure if he's gonna like keep that same performance, playing in his primary position in centre. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see if he starts over Aaron Screw-Up, Brayden Naden. The 4-pack is still needs some work in there. It's not bad. They've got Luke Thompson in there. He was one of the best ever props ever seen for the Canberra Bays Bulldogs, and one of the most underrated props in 2021, in my opinion. They got Tavia Payne Jr. in there, this and that, but the 4-pack needs to have some work a bit as well. The bench, it's all right. The bench players are not really that much impactful as what you can compare to other teams in the NRL right now. And in my opinion, I think the team needs to just to keep on gelling a bit more. I don't think they're going to be top 8 as what other people expect. I mean, my dad shockingly said they're going to be top 4, which, yeah, I don't know what type of drugs my dad's on. So let's move on from that. But yeah, for me, I'm going to see the Canberra Bays Bulldogs come in 11th place. Trent Barrett is going to take some time to do this with his team, but I will be pretty surprised if they do finish in the bottom 4 again with the amount of signs they have, because surely they're going to make a big improvement, but not top 8 surely. But if they do get in the bottom 4, yeah, I think Trent Barrett, as what everyone predicts, could be sacked after the end of that season. They do only improve by that much, as what Phil Good's been recruiting pretty well. So yeah, Canberra Bulldogs for me will finish 11th in 2022. Alright, so coming in 10th place is the St. George Illawarra Dragons, which I think they're going to be the most underrated team in 2022. They finally got rid of that dead shit Corey Norman, which thank God he retired. His career was a fucking joke. So looking at the back line, the halves combination is some people heard some people like Nick should pick Jack Bird at 5'8", which is not a bad call. But I think Taylor Amon will start at 5'8", in my opinion. There, some people, I don't know why people are saying that Cody Ramsey should start a wing. I think he's absolutely overrated, in my opinion. I think Matthew the Fagai brothers could have a potential place in there, but I don't see Matthew's brother start over Mosuli. I think who's going to start center? I think Zach Lomax and Mosuli will be the starter centers for me over there. The back line for me, the back spine is looking pretty decent, and it's looking as much more good as what other people actually think it is. They got the young gun Tara Stone, who is an absolute fantastic player. He's pretty fast. It's similar to what Dane Laurie is. They got what one of the most underrated wingers from 2021, in my opinion. Michele Raviala. I think in my opinion he's much more better than Sivo, and he's a very good winger, absolute beast. They got another winger in there, which Matthew Fagai will start over Cody Ramsey. It was absolute gun for them when we debuted for them. And yeah, like I said, I think the combination with Zach Lomax and Raviala would be absolutely fantastic, as what we've seen from them in 2020 as well. The 4-pack, looking at it right now, they got Jack DeBell, which return from the Dragons wasn't a bad. I think in my opinion he's going to suck as a second rower with James Stewart. I wouldn't mind that. they got a lot of good impact in the bench there with George Burgess going up there, Francis Molo, and obviously with Aaron Woods playing as prop in there. So I feel like that the team's going to be pretty good, and also with Tarek Sims as well. Even though he was pretty average for New South Wales, I feel like he could possibly get he could possibly bounce back from that and possibly improve from the season with the players around him. And yeah, I feel like that this team is leading up to a bright future. The young system is looking pretty good at the moment, and if you do have this team pretty low, I don't know what you think about. I think this team has a bright future. You know, they got Josh Kerr in there. They got another player I think they have in there. I don't know where. I think left the Dragons, but I have heard another youngster in there. But anyways, I have the St. George Royal Dragons, one of the most underrated teams going 2022, finishing in 10th. All right, so coming in 9th place is a team that could potentially come in the top 8, but by having a young squad similar to the Cameron Basin Bulldogs is going to be the Brisbane Broncos. Yeah, a lot of people may say that I think they might get in the top 8, but I think they'll just miss out on the top 8. As I think they'll just miss out points from the next upcoming team is going to be placed in 8th place, which I'll mention them in a moment after this. So they got some big signings. Some people may say this signing everyone's the buy of the year, which I feel like it's a bit overhyped. Listen, look, I know Ronald's got some experience in that, but it doesn't mean that he's going to keep that consistency throughout with Kevin Walt throughout from a different coach. I think Wayne Bennett coaches him better than what Kevin Walters did, in my opinion. So, you know, I do think that Kevin Walters is gonna coach him much more, going to coach him pretty good, but I don't think he's going to coach him much more better than what Wayne Bennett has done to him. Lead him to the grand final. The 5'8" is a big question for everyone's debating at the moment. I think it's going to be Albert Kelly. I think Tyson Gamble for me is going to play as a utility. Say what you want about him, he's a grub, but I think that I see his passion from what I've seen from last season. He's absolute a great leader for 5'8" for the Brisbane Broncos. But I feel like that he'll come up for Albert Kelly, who was absolutely decent. He was a big point key for the Broncos. For the win over the Sydney Roosters, shocking them down at the SUG, smashing them up, and if they get in the top 8, I feel like that could Tony Staggs also needs to stay healthy throughout the rest of the season, and if he does, then I feel like that he's gonna pick up form again, and he'll possibly do the same thing as what he did in 2020, 2021. My opinion, he was pretty quiet. In my opinion, he had a few good games, this and that. But you know, I feel like that Tess Neal will start fullback and Soi Cobbo will start at wing. Tess Neal is a pretty underrated fullback, in my opinion. You know, some people may disagree with me, but you know, it's strange that he's got a fullback and he can make some good line breaks and this and that there. So I feel like that with him. And also, Sweet Cobbo will make a good impact there for the back spine as well. For the forward pack, the forward pack's looking pretty good with Payne Haas in there. Obviously, they've got some experience there with Kurt Capewell. In my opinion, will be vice captain. They have got a lot of good bench players in there with Roy James, with also a lot of good experience as well. And I feel like that John Ricky will possibly improve. I feel like he was a bit overrated in 2021, but I feel like he'll improve this season. Kobe Horton at lock is pretty he'll go pretty good at lock. I think Patrick Harrigan starts at prop. Carrigan at prop, and the main concern for me for the four pack is obviously Jake Turbin as the hooker. There were rumoured to get Reed Miney, but Reed Miney declined that. Since he actually hates the Broncos, for very shockingly, the team's looking like a potential to come for top 8, but for me at the moment the team's still pretty young, and I just there's a lot of options for Ken Walters to pick off how it's going to go well, or how they can possibly keep Joel this type of position. Possibly if they miss on the 8 this year, then possibly can put it in for the plans for 2023 as well, and keep it like that way for the near future. So yeah, for me, the Brisbane Broncos will miss out in the top 8 for me. Okay, a lot of people are going to get pissed off at me when I say this. When I say this team coming 8, so I see the teams for the bottom 8, and there's a lot of big questions of saying, where's the North Queensland Cowboys? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a big bold prediction. You can call me crazy, you can call me idiot, but ladies and gentlemen, coming 8th place. This is gonna be a very big bold prediction, right here, and I've saw another person put them in the top 8. This team for me is gonna be one of the most underrated player, alongside with St. George Illawarra Dragons, and this team coming number 8 for me is the North Queensland Cowboys. Yep, I know a lot of people are going to call me an idiot. They're going to call me a retard. They're calling me a fuckwit. Oh, you're fucking Nick Australia, or fucking the rugby gamer, or Sam Revel, ask Liquor. But in my opinion, I think the North Queensland Cowboys are going to be the most underrated team coming this season. I know Todd Payne is the biggest concern. I know he can be inconsistent. I know there's rumours that Scott Drinkwater is going to play fullback. I know Hammer's going to play centre. But I feel like the signs have pretty much been overlooked. From what I've seen from other lab predictions, obviously you may have seen from my lab, 2022 lab prediction reaction live stream a couple months ago, before the end of the year. I don't know how people are saying Peter Hiku and Chad Chalmers is a bit of a man. I think they're pretty good signings, man. I know Jermaine Tuna Brown is a bit average. I reckon he's bad, but he could be a good player for the full pack, especially for the front rows and that. But I reckon that the halves combination is going to be pretty good, as long as Scott Drinkwater is able to stand up this season. And if they can actually do that with the experience from that, I reckon that they may have a good chance. Because you go remember, right, from last season, North Queensland Cowboys were coming 7 for a couple of rounds until they just fought forward from there. And ever since Todd Payne got the right players in there, putting Valentine Holmes finally in the centres with Cole Fell, that selection right there is going to be absolutely fantastic. And it has been confirmed that Valentine Holmes will play a centre with Cole Felt there, hopefully, and Maritime will play winger and centre. And you also got to remember, the North Queensland Cowboys got some good youngsters, some good young guns. The biggest youngsters that a lot of people was talking about was John Nanai, and John Nanai is going to be an absolute fantastic player. Some people are going to say he's going to start second row. I don't think he's going to start in round 1 or even round 2. I think he'll start soon. But once he gets in there, I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic addition in the back row there for North Queensland Cowboys, along with Lumi Lukey. But as long as Todd Payne uses Jason Tamalo right, he puts him in prop instead of lock. I think Room Collar lock will be absolutely fantastic. And also, in my opinion, they've gone one of the best ever utility players in 2021. Jake Granville, absolutely fantastic player coming up from as a utility. And the bench players is all right. It's pretty good, and it's just that they got a lot of possibility, a lot of potential to get in the top 8. And I feel like they do have that mentality to get there. Some people may say they're coming down. They seem like they're going to come down, such as the West Tigers or even New Zealand Warriors or even the Brisbane Broncos. But I feel like that Todd Payne's going to get the team right this year. I know it's a massive bold call, but I feel like that the North Queensland Cowboys, in my opinion, are going to be the most underrated team coming in 2022, in my opinion. So yeah, for me, North Queensland Cowboys, 8th place. Okay, so the team going in 7th place is a team that has lost a very big experienced player. Some players getting old, and obviously Wayne Bennett is no longer there. As a giveaway, is a South Sydney Rabbitohs. I know a lot of people are going to say, why'd you put him in seventh? Why did you put him in fifth? So I put him in seventh is that the reason why they lost some big experienced players, and plus the reason why I say lost some big experienced players. I know they lost Aaron Reynolds, but Dan Gago is also another big loss for them. I'm not sure how Tata Men's going to go. I think he'll go fantastic for them, but for the halves as well, Cody Walker is getting old now, and Lachlan Ilias is confirmed to start as a halfback, and for now, I just really cannot know how they're going to do it with the halves over there. It's especially with Damon Cook. I think he's a little bit overrated. I know that's a bit outrageous to say, but Damon Cook is also getting old. But I think that the only way they're going to lead the full pack is going to go good this season. Is obviously Cameron Murray being captain, which is a fantastic option for the Southern Rabbitohs. But the back spine, right? I just feel like it's going to be a massive downgrade from over the last couple of years. It's looking much more younger than what it is. I think it's the most youngest backline I've ever seen from the last couple of years in the South Sydney squad. Obviously, they don't have Wayne Bennett there anymore, so they have a brand new coach. But I have heard from the new coach there is hints that there could be new replacements for Dan Gagai and also Aaron Reynolds as well, as at the moment they have Lachlan Ilias and possible Jackson Polo playing centre, in my opinion, in there. But South Sydney, man, I generally don't know if they're going to like just finish outside of the top four. I'm not sure if Cody Walker is gonna like keep that consistency as what it was from last season. I know that there's some other players that still can play good from the last few seasons. Obviously, Benjamin Marshall still played well. The West Tigers when he was getting old. Brett Morris still playing well, but Cody Walker has had many chances by now, and he's starting to get that age where he's possibly gonna like get to the stage where he's gonna like retire soon, possibly. And I just can't see him like keep this form coming up as what he did from last season, and it's just gonna be a massive pressure on him by Wayne Bennett and also Aaron Reynolds and Dan Gago as well. And it's just that they lost so much experience, South Sydney Rabbitohs, and in my opinion, they're going to finish 7th, and it's going to be a massive drop for them. Okay, finishing in 6th place is obviously a big concerning. This is going to be a big surprise. It's my team, which is Sykes. It's not a big surprise. It's not even a surprise at all. So yeah, I have my team finishing at 6th place once again. Obviously it goes correct from last year. I think everyone got correct, but I feel like we're going to finish in the same place. There's obviously the off season for us was possibly one of the most absolute worst ever off season I've ever seen from my team. The co-captains that has been picked are pretty is pretty odd. June Pollard as vice captain. I was expecting Mitchell Moses to be as vice captain. I know some people may say that's too much pressure for him, but Clint Gutherson has a much more closer relationship than Mitchell Moses what does with Junior Paulo. I know Paulo has some origin experience, but some people may say RCG. I will possibly maybe even have Ryan Madison a go. He shows some good passion, good leadership in the team as well. I'm sure he can be a bit grubbish sometimes, but I feel like that Ryan Madison for me is somehow could have a chance to even become as a vice captain. I think it would not be a bad option to even lead as a vice captain. He has an experience from the grand final in 2018, and also so he's gonna be. I reckon would have been pretty good, but yeah. I feel like that some of the players will improve this season. Mitchell Moses will improve. One of Blake for me, I think I know this is going to be a really unpopular opinion, but I reckon we should start Warner Blake at the wing. Some people may say that why not start Simons in the wing. Well, the reason why is that because Warner Blake last season wasn't that much of a good supported player for us. It was mostly hogs, similar to what Paul Morosky is for the Panthers. And if you put in the wing, I think he has that speed to even go and attack. Obviously, he did it for us from the final series as well, especially started improving ever since coming from injury. And his defense is a much more big concern. But Simonson for me is much more a supported player than Warner Blake. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, but Warner Blake's a centre. He's no longer a winger. You're a fucking dumbass. Well, bitch. In my opinion, it's my opinion. I see Warner Blake. I'm not having bad go playing a wing, and I'm just really sick and tired of just people saying that Tom Overcheck is the most underrated player for us, which that's the most stupidest thing I ever heard from anyone. And our full pack there's gonna be a lot of disruptions behind the scenes. For our full pack, there's gonna be a lot of toxicity for us for a full pack as well. Obviously, Rimani is going to go to our rivals, which that pissed me off. Isaiah Publi off to the West Tigers as well, and also Martin and Corey off to the Warriors, along with them. So it's going to be pretty interesting of how it's going to be behind the scenes with the forward pack and that. So yeah, a bench players are obviously going to be the same thing, but I just feel like there's not going to be that much changes in here. So there's a lot of big pressure on Clint Gutherson as captain again. As always, there's a big amount of pressure on Brad Arthur as well. I think this is going to be the last ever season for Brad Arthur, or I think he is, or maybe still resign for a couple more years. I don't know why we even resigned Brad Arthur. To be honest, I think it was a shit signing. I get that he's recruited well in the past, but I'm sorry, but we gave him so many chances. He can't get through us for a semi-final, and if you can't do that, then I'm sorry, then you're not fit to coach the club. So for me, it's just going to be the same shit every single fucking year. In the top 8, it's just going to be we're going to go great in the regular season, but then come finals time, we're going to come out. We're going to get eliminated semi-final, which I will get in the finals predictions after this as well. So yeah, Parramatta, same shit, 6th place, and let's move on. Okay, so we've got the next team on this list. So we've got another smoky team, in my opinion, that is going to become one of the most unexpected teams to ever get near the top 4. And in my opinion, that is going to be the Cronulla Southern Sharks. Some people may say that this team is overhyped, which fair enough. I am pretty high on the Sharks right now. I have picked some Sharks play to win for the Daily M positions, and also for Origin as well. So in my opinion, I think for just Raymond's going to have a massive year. I think he's going to be picked as centre of the year, and possibly maybe picked for Origin as well. I know it's a big call, for my opinion, but yeah, I feel like that Josh Raymond's going to have a big year for the Cronulla Southern Sharks. Obviously, my opinion, I think they got the buy of the year. In my opinion, you may disagree with me, but Nico Hines is going to be the 5 of the year, my opinion, and he's going to have a massive year in the halves with another underrated halfback. Brian Trendall is going to be absolutely fantastic for the Cronulla Sharks season, and the back spine is looking absolutely fantastic. They got Walton Kennedy there, one of the top 10 fullbacks in the comp right now. They've got the wingers, Sonny Katoa. You may debate with him, Matty Kavoe, but I think Matty Kavoe may start the winger for me. But I wouldn't mind seeing Katoa in there. He's also underrated winger, but I feel like that Matty Kavoe can possibly perform better than him, as what I've seen from the Roosters last year, as he can score some pretty good long range passes, tries. Renato Matayo still in the wing was absolutely a gun machine for the Sharks last season. One of the best wingers I've ever seen in the comp, 2021. Ever since then, And going for the 4-pack, the 4-pack is looking absolutely fantastic. They've got a very well experienced player. He's from the Melbourne Storm. I actually in the Discord server I actually was one of the people in the Discord server were actually doing a game saying, hey, predict a player to go to this club, and it said, where do you think Del Finucane is going to go? And I actually said this before it was confirmed. Some people may say, you predicted this before it was rumored. I didn't know he was actually rumored to actually go to Cronulla Southern Sharks. But from me noticing any rumours, I said that Del Finucane would go to the Cronulla Southern Sharks, and he actually did. They got a very, very big buy here. Del Finucane, I think it's gonna be the prop of the year. Del Finucane, in my opinion, this is a massive buy for him. Well experienced. Not with him, but also with another well experienced player, Wade Graham, and with the hooker in their front rows, and another front row in the back row as well. I think the 4-pack is going to be absolute just a monstrous pack look at right now, and I feel like Jack Williams could possibly be the a utility player in there, or could be Matt Moylan possibly in there, possibly doing it for them. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But for me, man, I think for the Cronulla Southern Sharks have actual potential to make it to grand finals. Oh yeah, no. I also forgot to mention they got another well experienced player that I think is going to be lock of the year, Karen McInnes. These players are full of like full on key and also like X factors in here. Like you just cannot stop. You just well done to Craig Fitzgibbon. I know there's like massive concerns about him and that, he's a risk coach. Second Jack Morris is possibly not the best choice to ever go with, but I feel like that won't matter anyway, because I feel like that this is going to be a very underrated team, a very good team going into this year, and yeah, I feel like that the Cronulla Southern Sharks have a chance to possibly get in the grand final, and yeah, Cronulla Southern Sharks to finish in 5th, just outside the top 4. Okay, so I've got a fourth place team. So top 4 is not going to be a big surprise, as I think many people are going to predict the size. So in 4th place, I've got the Manawinga Seagulls. They have got some interesting signs. They've got even Beaumont, which I think will be a pretty underrated player for them. In there, they have Josh Scusa is also could possibly play in the 5'8" for the Manawinga Seagulls if Kieran Foran gets injured from what I heard, which he actually has played 5'8" for one game a day. He wasn't too bad in there. I think Josh Scusa is going to have another massive big year for them. Josh Alloway, obviously he cancel his boxing fight, but I think he'll go good for them again anyways. Will Ben Trbojevic will get much more game time? That's a question to be asked for Des Hasler. For Sibley, for me, I think he should be starting the bench. I think he should be getting more game time as he's been dropped many times for the Manawinga Seagulls in the past last year. Sean Kepi is another player to watch out for as well. He was another player to watch out for. I think another player to watch out for that I think he's an absolute fantastic season is Jason Sharp. I think he's going to be one of the most fastest wingers in the competition, one of the most fastest players in the comp, faster than the car in my opinion. And I feel like they can have a big crack starting off for Origin for New South Wales. So keep your eye out for him. He could be one of the top try scorers for Manly. but obviously got Ruben Garrick in there, which you go well. Dylan Walker was absolutely fantastic, and for what he's showed us against the Roosters, like in the semi-finals, he's going to have another big year, man. Like he's going to play absolutely fantastic, in centres. I believe he played there, against the Roosters, I believe, and yeah, Dylan Walker is going to be another player to watch out for. I don't think you should underestimate his player. He was a bit quiet. He was a bit quiet off from last year, but I feel like he's gonna get the form back as what he has from South Sydney as well. DCE is still a big concern for me, as I don't know how he's going to back up after that embarrassing performance against South Sydney. I'm really concerned of how he's going to go well this season, and hopefully he doesn't choke another finals for them, as they have so many chances to even get into the grand final, especially like last year. But obviously the main player, Tom Dorovic, one of the best ever players. He was a 2021 Dally M medal winner last year, and as long as he doesn't get injured, they're still going to be a top 4 team as well. So yeah, in my opinion, Melbourne Seagulls are going to finish in the top 4 in 4th place. All right, so coming 3rd place is a team that I feel that is going to be dropping from the main place, is what they usually finish. So this team are obviously one of the best ever teams in the NRL. They have lost some big names, like some big names. So this team coming 3rd place is the Melbourne Storm. So they have lost Addo Carr. They're going to lose Brandon Smith next year, but obviously, I think Brandon Smith is not going to go that well, or if he was from last year. Harry Grant for me will do well for them, but I don't think he's going to go that great. I think Jerome Hughes is possibly going to have a crack for getting halfback of the year. I think he's going to lead the team well, and obviously, if Ryan Pappenhausen doesn't get like injured as what he was from last year, which I doubt that Ryan Pappenhausen will get injured again, as a going in my update fancy, as I'll show you guys in a future video. I feel like that Ryan Pappenhausen is going to have a really big important year to lead his team, and they need to communicate much more better. And hopefully the youngsters can mature much more better. Obviously, they've got Xavier Coates in there. Go have a great combination with Justin Olam. It could possibly do the same duo as what Addo Carr did with Olam as well. Cameron Munster, he was all right for the Melbourne Storm. I feel like Ryan Pappenhausen is going to goal kick again, which is thank God for that, because we all know what happened when Cameron Munster goal kick. He's not very good. He's not very good at all. But I've got to mention they have another talented player who actually played for All Blacks, and his name is called Will Warbrick. Keep your eyes out for that player as well. And also they got Nick Meaney as well, and they got a very good depth here. They got a very good depth here, the Melbourne Storm, for the back spine, and going for the 4-pack. The 4-pack it was questionable before if Nelson's Solo Mona was going to train, and recently he actually came back and trained. Which thank goodness that they got Nelson back. I know that he's been going. I know that he's getting old. I know that he's starting to get old in this and that. But he's a very important player for them. I met him last year at my dad's dealership. If you haven't looked at that picture, go follow me on Instagram, and go like the pitch as well. A very big boy. A very important player for them as well in the 4-pack. Along with Brandon Smith, I think he'll play a lock. I think he'll go pretty well. It's still got Bromwich there with a couple experience there with his brother as well. Which both with Jesse Bromwich, with both of them going to go to the Dolphins next season, which would be another massive loss for them. And this is going to be, I think this is going to be the last ever season that I think I'm going to have any hope for the Melbourne Storm to possibly get in the top 4 if Ryan Papenhuyzen can prove that he can be mature enough, that they can communicate with his team much more, and that they can still be a Premiership winning team. But as I said before, last year, a lot of people did not believe me. The Melbourne Storm in 2021 will not win the Premiership without Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith left in 2021. Obviously, there was big concerns for him if he was going to play for Melbourne Storm or if he was going to be rumored to go to the Gold Coast Titans. Obviously, they're happy and retired. And what did I say? Cameron must have amounts of pressure. I know they got Christian Walsh now the fullback, which is another player to look out for, and a really important player for him as well. But I just can't see the Melbourne Storm winning the Premiership for the next 5 years without Cameron Smith, in my opinion. I know it's a bold call, but I just can't see it in the habit. Actually, no. In a decade, they won't win a Premiership. In a decade, they will not win a Premiership without Brandon Smith. And until then, I think they're going to start getting into rebuild mode and just bringing a couple youngsters just to deal with the system there, and hopefully these youngsters like Nick Meaney and obviously Warbrick in there will possibly have a bright future at the Melbourne Storm, and hopefully some of the players will not end up as Vinavari or even Corey Bailey going back after to uni. Obviously they've got Kelka Mika, having a few off-field issues there, but other than that, they got Tamara there on the bench from what I can see. So the bench is still pretty good. So, but at the moment, I feel it's going to be the first time in a while that the Melbourne Storm going to drop it off from there. But with Craig Bellamy in there, and he's still going to make sure they're going to be a top 4 side. He's a very aggressive and passionate coach in there. So yeah, Melbourne Storm for me to finish in 3rd. Okay, so we got another team coming up. So before some people may have them first, but for me I got them second. They are your 2021 premiers, the Penrith Panthers. So they got some couple youngsters coming. They got Isaac Tago in there. Which I think he's going to start at the centre alongside with Brian Toho. They got Tanner May, which is Tyrone May's brother. Which I think Tanner May will start in the centres, and I think Stephen Cryan will stay at the wing as he played well in the grand final. But the back line is the same as always. There's nothing very much to say. Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai in there. Dylan Edwards was pretty good for them as well. And yeah, there's not really much to say. It's just basically the same as from what was from last year. They got another player. They got Stephen Cryan's little brother here. I think he's his big brother is. Yeah, I think he's got his big brother, Christian Cryan from the Carrying Bankstown Bulldogs. He could be a good backup for if Tanner May gets injured, and that as they got Matt Burton out over there, they got him out, and they have obviously for the 4-pack they got Kirk Capewell out as well. Still got some decent New South Wales quality in there. They got James Fisher Harris, which I feel like he's gonna finally start for Origin possibly, and he's gonna be probably a year for me again. They got Zay Yo in there. They got Api Coruscant. They have got Liam Martin, Moses Leota, Mitch Kenny. Obviously, getting extension for his signing. I think he's going to be a good utility player for the Premiership Panthers. Got Scott Soros in there, Spencer Lunier be another good bench play for them. Vilma Kickow, who is obviously going to have his last ever season for the Premiership Panthers before going to the Canberra Bankstown Bulldogs in next season. So yeah, the four pack's still decent. Even Val Kickow still got some good New South Wales quality in there, and still they also got a lot of good depth in their squad as well. And for obviously with the young system, obviously backing them up. No matter what else they have, you cannot deny them that they will be in the grand final this year once again, with another team that will be staying in for the Mine Premiership. So yeah, I got the Premiership Panthers finishing in second place. Okay, so for the Mine Premiers, your Telstra to Mine Premiers is the one and only the Sydney Roosters. So obviously, Trent Robinson's team has made some pretty good signings. One from the Super League, I'll say, is Kevin Graham. One of the players to look out for. They got Paul Momorowski returning from his club. They also got another player returning from the club, Connor Watson, who is another big buy for them, for the Newcastle Knights, and he could possibly play not a lock, but he could play hooker, as well. They got obviously James Tedesco was absolutely brilliant for them, with all the amount of injuries that they had coming out from this season. And the reason why I have Roosters like for my Premiers is that no matter what challenges they face up against, James Tedesco and Trevor Robinson's team has obviously shown that they can actually do without the big key players without Luke Keary. Who else was out for them? Brett Morris, and I feel that they're still going to get Mine Premiers, minor Premiers without Brett Morris, even Josh Morris as well. But with both the Morris brothers are retiring, and obviously still got down Tupou in there, which would be pretty good. I feel like that Kevin Graham will play in the wing. I did say in my Roosters predicted lineup that he was going to play in the centres, but I was going to say just mine the wing. But I thought I looked in the comment section, and I thought myself that I think it was a bit silly for putting Kevin Graham in the centre. Well, why not? I think putting him in the wing would be much more dangerous, rather than putting in the centre. And I feel like that Kevin Graham is going to do pretty good for the Sydney Roosters, coming back from the NRL. I know there's been other players, as I mentioned before, in the West, when I was talking about the West Tigers before, with Jackson Hastings. I used to play for the Sydney Roosters and won the Super League. Came back. We don't know if he's going to be good or not. But for me, okay, Kevin Graham used to play for the West Tigers. Of course, he was playing a couple of times as centre and wing. And they went to St. Helens. He won a couple of premierships for them, and he's bringing that Super League experience from there. And obviously, his great performance against with the West Tigers, with the West Tigers, over to Sydney with a much more well experienced club that has a very good record with going back to back premiers. So this is a perfect opportunity for Kevin Nograma to make his prime time in the NRL, and possibly win a premiership for the Sydney Roosters as well. And obviously you got Joe Harways in there. They got Satoru Tupinil, which was pretty underrated. Still underrated second row. I think he got absolutely robbed for second row of the year from last year in the Dally M's. And so for me, the Sydney Roosters are going to be the Mine Premiers for 2022, and also got Sam Walker in there, so hopefully he'll start halfback, or possibly Luke Keary, possibly start 5'8". So yeah, for me, Sydney Roosters gonna get Mine Premiers, with the Morris brothers out, they still will still be good no matter what. And yeah, let's move on to the finals. All right, so how the finals is going to work from what I see is that So the Sydney Roosters are going to play a home game. Hoping I'm guessing it's going to be at the new stadium back at the Sydney Football Stadium that used to be called Allianz Stadium. We don't know what's going to be called as it's nearly finished for the year. Obviously, going to play the first ever game there at a new ground in round 25. And they're going to play the home game there up against the fourth place, the Manly Seagulls. Obviously, many absolutely crushed them from last year. But can Sydney Roosters get their revenge from what they have from last year and knock them out? And I feel like that. I feel like the Sydney Roosters are going to smash them like 13 plus here. I think they're going to beat them possibly by 20, 30. I'm going to say 30 points to 18 here. I think it'll be kind of a high scoring game here, as I think man of the match will be Kevin Aguama or possibly James Tedesco. And yeah, Sydney Roosters will go through into the prelims for the first time ever since 2019. Alright, so we got 5th versus 8th, which is the Cronulla Southern Sharks versus North Queensland Cowboys. So the score I'm going to predict here is going to be the Cronulla Southern Sharks. I believe they're going to just defeat them. But I think Cowboys will get in this game. But I feel like that the halves combination, Nico Hines, with the experience of Delphin Nukin as well, and also Wade Graham, desperately trying to get back to the spot of how they were in 2016, and the assistant coach is going to try and make a statement, as they have been getting out finals in the first week, and they also want to get a big challenge to show why they're big threats in the finals series. So I'm going to go with the Cronulla Southern Sharks here to defeat the North Queensland Cowboys by let's go with 26 points to 18. Okay, so the next final match we got is second versus third, which is the Penrith Panthers up against Melbourne Storm, and I believe the Penrith Panthers will actually win this. So I feel like that the Penrith Panthers are going to actually defeat the Melbourne Storm. Going to put in a big upset here. I know that they got the big stars out, and I know Melbourne Storm got some pretty young, threatening looking players that can stand up for them in the finals still. But I think that the Penrith Panthers, they still have the experience well with Nathan Cleary in there, and with a lot of players who were part of the Premiership winning team. And Melbourne Storm got a couple of their experienced players like Brandon Smith, Nelson Asafa-Solomona, Ryan Pappenhausen, Justin Olam, Kenny Bromwich, Jesse Bromwich, Felice Kafuzi, and I believe that is it. Hang on a second. I think Jerome Hughes. Oh yeah, Jerome Hughes. Still part. Oh yeah, Jerome Hughes and Cameron Munster. All those players that have full experience. As Penrith Panthers, they also do have some young talent coming up. I think this will be a pretty close match of how it was in the prelim. But I'm going to go with the Penrith Panthers with a big upset, as I think Steph Curry will actually go well in how he did in the final series. And Penrith Panthers, I believe that they're going to win here by, I think this is going to be a pretty high scoring match, to be honest, or it could be low scoring. And if it is, I'm going to go with the Penrith Panthers to win here by 18 points to 12. Yep, that's going to be my final score. Penrith Panthers to win 18 points to 12 against the Melbourne Storm. Okay, so the next matchup that we got is the Parramatta Eels versus the South Sydney Rabbitohs. This is going to be an elimination final. I believe that the Eels and South Rabbitohs will be played on a Sunday afternoon. And look, my team, obviously we defeated Newcastle Knights, but we barely did it. And with Ferguson in there, one missing X Factor out there, it's going to be a little bit difficult, not going to lie. But I think Mitchell Moses will get us over the line. With Southsea not having that the great director for them, but the Premiers over the last couple of years haven't had a great record against South Sydney Rabbitohs, and South Sydney does still have that great record in the final series as well. And is actually going to be the first ever time, if it happens, in a very, very, very long time. I think ever since the 80s, Premiers' last ever face against South Sydney in the finals, I believe, or I'm not sure. But if it is, then it's been like a hell of like a long time since Eels go up against South Sydney in the finals. So I think with our good great quality players, they've been doing it for years. I think Goverson, Moses, and Nostradamus as vice captain will probably get the job done. But South Sydney will also come close. The will cause a bit of a scare. And I'm going with the Parramatta Eels to win by 24 points to. I'm going to say 24 points to 16 for us. So next up, we'll go cracking. We actually go cracking our game here, semi-final. It is one of the biggest ever rivalries between these two clubs, Manly versus Cronulla, and man, this is going to be a tough game to predict actually. Cronulla could be coming close, but Manly, they do have Tom Todorovic in there if they can still keep him injury free coming up to that match. Kieran Foran and DCE, this is where the time has shined. Dylan Walker, can he step up just how he did against Sydney Roosters from last year? And with the Cronulla Southern Sharks, obviously got Delphin Newcastle, as I mentioned before, got some pretty experienced players in there. Man, oh man, this is tough to pick. These two teams are pretty similar, to be honest, man, and it's pretty hard to pick who's going to go through the prelims. But I'm going to say, oh man, oh shoot, oh. I mean, Nico Hines does have some experience in the prelims against the Parent Panthers and obviously Delphin as well. So, I'm gonna go with a big call here. I'm sorry, Manly fans, if you're going to be upset with me, but I'm gonna say the Cronulla Southern Sharks will possibly win by. I'm going to say this is going to be a pretty high scoring game, to be honest. I'm going to say that Cronulla are going to win by 4, and I'm going to say Cronulla Southern Sharks are going to win by 26 points to 22, and they'll be going through to the prelims, I believe, with the Sydney Roosters. Yeah, so they're going to be Cronulla Southern Sharks will face up against the Sydney Roosters. Okay, so we got the Melbourne Storm go up against my team, and we all know what's going to happen here. No questions asked. I don't think my team's going to get through semis. It's going to be the same old shit. It's going to be Melbourne Storm 13 plus. I know that. I know it's still got a lot of quality out but with Jerome Hughes in there, I don't know. I don't know how we're going to go through it. Also, they got William Warbrick, as I forgot to mention earlier in this video, and if he can go well and can get fit up for the finals, he can possibly just tear us apart. The former All Blacks player. So Yeah, no questions asked. I'm not going to keep this for too long, so I'm going to go Melbourne Storm 13 plus. I'm going to go the score line with bloody 30 points to 10. All right, so in the prelims, there will be the Sydney Roosters up against the Cronulla Sharks. So the Sydney Roosters will win by man oh man. I believe it will be 16 points to 12. Yeah, but I'm going to go with that score line. It's going to be a low scoring game. I'm going to go with Sydney Roosters to win by 16 points to 12. And coming up in the second Premiership final is going to be the Penrith Panthers up against the Melbourne Storm once again in the prelims. And once again, they're facing in the prelims for the second time. And who I'm going to go for? Does the Melbourne Storm get their revenge? And I believe that. Oh man, I do not think this is going to be the 2018 Grand Final rematch. That's right. I'm going to go with the Penrith Panthers to defeat the Melbourne Storm twice in a row in the prelims. I know Melbourne Storm fans are going to get pretty salty about this, but I'm going to say that the Penrith Panthers are going to win this by 1 to 12. I'm going to say Penrith Panthers to win this by 24 points to 18. And ladies and gentlemen, for our 2022 Grand Finalists, we have the Sydney Roosters up against the Penrith Panthers, aka the 2021 Premiers as well. And this is obviously the 2003 Grand Final rematch. Last time that these two faced in the Grand Final back then, the Penrith Panthers, for the underdogs, were going up over there. They were bowing out there with Brad Fielder at the club, obviously making a good try saver on him. And for the Grand Final for this year, it is going to be, drum roll please, the Sydney Roosters by 22 points to 18. And I believe that a Sydney Roosters will defend their lives out in the last couple of seconds. Penrith will find a way to get through, but I think Sydney Roosters' defence will possibly end out of how it was back in the 2016 Grand Final with Cronulla Southern Sharks and the Melbourne Storm. And ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Premiers, the Sydney Roosters, and that is going to end it off for the 2022 NRL live predictions. Let me know what you guys think of this live predictions. Do you think I'm a complete idiot for putting the Cowboys in the top 8? Do you think that it's pretty solid and this could possibly happen? And let me know what you think in the Premier if you are still watching this right now. So I do want to apologise. Due to this recording, I apologise if there's a lot of stuttering, if there's a lot of stops, this and that. If I keep repeating myself, I do want to apologise for all of that. I had to record as fast as I can. I cannot do any retakes because it's I got a lot of live streams coming up, and I just want to get this quickly out there because it's going to be a pretty busy month ahead of me. So yeah, I just had to get this 2022 NRL Premiership predictor video out of the way with, and this has been our Sports Loaded. Take care and peace.
Pulled up in a blown out car, brothers, not everybody knows who we are. Stepped in the scene, all that 2 feet forward till we never get played like a game.